it might be working now. I'm already liking this a lot because, like, what?
Yep, it's up.
Yeah, I like this already because, like, I went to settings and there was a backup YouTube channel, like a backup YouTube server, and I clicked that and it was like sending data. I'm like, oh, cool. Yeah, and I see it on here. Whenever we get to it, that's the website that's got the chat, or that's got the yeah, that's got the chat. I just have to give you the login stuff for it. Okay. I need the show notes up. Oh, that's right. I wanted to pull up the actual news stories so I could talk about them a little more. And there was actually new stuff that just announced today, but I didn't have a chance to get fully into it.
New Deep Rock Galactic update dropped today.
Yeah, I heard.
I downloaded it before I went to work.
So are you ready when you got back from work?
Yep.
Yeah, apparently some of the Mile High game guys, they were talking about it in their Slack. They were like, hey, there's a new Deep Rock Galactic update. We should play, kind of thing. And I was like, oh, hey, Philip plays that game.
Yep, it's fun shit.
Just doing my final checks of okay, is the thing recording? And I see stuff moving over there. All right. Yeah, I could play the clips here, but then the stream would hear it, but you wouldn't. Oh well. I found the so I found some cricket noises. I also found I also clipped out the dude from was it wrestling where it's like, let's get ready to rumble. Boxing.
Right.
That was more of a boxing thing, I think. And then the dodgeball one where it's like, Globo Gym, ready? Dodgeball. So you checked I heard you check the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So the chat is ready to display messages. Okie dokie. Artichoke. All right, let's get things started. I'm going to start the show in 3, 2, 1. Thanks to everyone who has supported our Patreon. If you want even more content, though, you need to go check out patreon.com/boardsandswords. Live from Swordplay Studios, it's Boards and Swords. Whoop. Whoop. A day late and $1 short.
Whoa, man. I don't have $1.
Yeah, you're short $1.
I'm like, maybe 27 cents short.
Hello out there, everyone. Welcome to Boards and Swords. This is a podcast where we have fun talking about board games. We're bringing you bad jokes, good folks, and a little bit of games in there somewhere. I am one of your hosts. My name is Chris Renshaw. On the other side of the internet tubes, I have my co-host here, Mr. Philip Herbig. How's it going?
What's going on, everybody?
So, we can get our Deep Rock Galactic update for the past 2 weeks.
Yes. What do you want to know?
Well, first let's talk some news, and then we can talk about that stuff. So we're gonna try things a little differently, since I got tired of nobody getting my jokes except for me, and them just being bad. I'm just going to talk about them. I've got a couple of stories here, and then I'm just gonna sprinkle in my patent pending dad jokes, as you normally do. So, first thing I have up here, if I can just find it, where did I put it? Aha, here it goes. So Fantasy Flight has launched a play and share campaign. It's like, they're like, oh, let's face it, quarantine sucks, or blah, blah, blah. So they're doing this thing called a play and share campaign by their organized play committee, where it's a way of creating a like online gaming space where it's like, did you like in the way they describe it here, these can be any kind of story. Did you teach your little brother or sister how to play Keyforge? Tell us, did you and your friends barely scrape through a challenging Arkham Horror scenario? We want to hear about it. Did your cat fall asleep on your collection of Legend of the Five Rings playmats? More like Legend of the Fur Rings, right? Right? See? Already better. Show us a picture, and then they have this, they talk about... Well, they got the hashtag FFG play and share. I mean, some of this sounds cool, but they hint at like prizes. So it's like the best part. OP's got some prizes for everyone, and the more people participate, the more prizes will be unlocked. More on that below, but they don't say anything about. That's the only time they mention prizes.
Okay.
They don't say anything else about like what types of prizes, how are we determining this, who's gonna get them. Which I feel like that's the piece everyone's going to care about. Like, nobody cares about, like... I mean, everybody's already, like, sharing... Like, if there's something share-worthy, like like somebody took a picture of, we played through Arkham Horror. They're already sharing that, probably.
Right.
The reason people would do this is to get, like, promos and such. Because you can't do... And that's the idea is, organized play. Can't exactly organize. So this is organized no playing.
There you
go. So they got there's some details on there. You can see it in the show notes, but it's interesting. Like, I like the idea. It's the execution I'm curious about,
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I can see that.
Like, what does that mean? Because like that's the reason people do these things. Like, because they can't go to a store and get stuff.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? No one knows what it means, but it's provocative.
What does it meme?
Ah. All right. Next item on the list here is something I may have to unplug my Echo for.
Okay.
And I'm just going to I'm gonna say it once, and then I'm gonna refer to it as the A word afterwards, because this is about Alexa. Cancel. But I know I'm going to set off everybody else's devices that has it.
Yes.
So.
Oh, you should have covered the mic when you said cancel.
I shouldn't have?
No, you should have. Just to like mess with everyone else's stuff.
Oh, yeah. So, there is new Starfinder adventures on those devices now.
Oh,
and
cool.
I had briefly heard about this, but I didn't look into it too much. But apparently there's a Starfinder skill that is like an interactive audio adventure game is the way they describe it. And you just say a word, play the Starfinder game, and it starts, it makes it, I'd have to test it, but it makes it sound like it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's backed by, like, this is official stuff, featuring Paizo is officially behind this. And they even have like some big name stuff, like Nathan Fillion and Laura Bailey are some of the people voicing.
All right.
Yeah, and apparently if you purchase the Starfinder beginner box, you receive the first episode of the audio adventure free. So it sounds like you probably got to pay for this. I don't know how much or how little. Oh, Clay, I just did the click on. Let's see here. So
You didn't auto buy, did you?
No. Where I can just say, "Hey, purchase." Yeah. Who knows if anybody else out there did? All 6 premium episodes are available for purchase now on Amazon as well as through your device. Oh, no, wait, is this? Okay. So it says I'm reading through. I clicked the story link to the actual page, and okay, so the free it's so funny. The free pilot episode is available for everyone, but this says only if you get the Starfinder box. So it's like, nah, it's just everybody. So they mention all like the adventures continue and all that, but then they briefly talk about the Starfinder core rulebook.
Okay.
And I don't know if that means like you actually like make a character or it's just them promoting.
Yeah, that could be.
Yeah, there's a whole list of stuff, like probably voiceover people that like I don't know. Only people I'd heard of is Nathan Fillion and Laura Bailey. Everybody else is I don't know these names, but I'm assuming somebody knows them, especially maybe other people that have done popular voiceover type stuff. Maybe I'd recognize their voice if I heard them.
That's probably what it was, yeah.
Yeah. So you can find your way to a new adventure by using your Amazon device. All right, shut up. Man. So the next one we have is it's called a Dragonlance. Hello. And that is the Dragonlance. So Dragonlance is a popular D&D setting that's been out forever. I don't think they've made a 5th edition official version yet, unless they did like some unofficial stuff on the website or whatever. Sometimes they do that kind of thing. But it was a setting that was created by some books. Margaret Weiss and Tracy
Hickman.
Yeah, Tracy Hickman. They wrote a bunch of books a while. I think it started in 3rd edition. I want to say 3rd edition.
First one was something of Autumn Twilight.
Okay.
Dragons of Autumn Twilight.
Are you looking at the?
No, I'm not. I'm remembering because I read it.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you've read this? Okay. Well, it was on the article. The first picture they show is Dragons of Autumn Twilight.
Okay, yeah.
So
like, the 4 books are the 4 seasons, and then a like Twilight, Dawn, Dusk night. Yeah.
Okay. I should have reasoned that if it's a book series, there's a good chance you've read it.
Well, because Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman also did the Deathgate cycle, which is such an amazing series of books. I highly recommend everybody.
So Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman have filed a lawsuit against Wizards of the Coast for over $30 million. Claiming that they breached a license agreement so there was apparently supposed to be a new Dragonlance trilogy that they were currently writing.
Okay.
And like had already submitted like the first book, but they basically Wizards of the Coast just canceled the series. And yeah. So this was back in like August is when they canceled it. We only know about this. So we don't know. There's not a whole lot of news. The only thing we know is very much on the kind of Weiss and Hickman side, because this was all came about from a court filing that somebody dug up. Like those things are usually public. So somebody found the lawsuit filing.
Right.
And so they're just alleging that in August 13th, 2020, that they declared it would not approve of any further drafts of Book 1 or any subsequent works in the trilogy, effectively repudiating and terminating the license agreement. So The link that I put in the notes, I picked this specific because a lot of people were talking about this. They talk about like there's no reason provided for the termination. However, there's a couple of where did I found it somewhere. So the lawsuit contends that around August 2020, things were not looking good for Wizards of the Coast, because there was the whole like people were kind of like there was the thing where they were like changing up some of the Magic cards and like banning stuff that had been problematic in the past, or like might be seen like the racial depictions, and then there was that whole thing with what.
No, I was listening and agreeing.
And then there was the issue with one of the contractors quit and posted this big. They posted this. Orion Black was talking about like all the harassment and kind of bad working conditions he had, and so this is around that same time point. The lawsuit is alleging that they're trying to cover up that fact and therefore like cancel. That they're using all this bad publicity as an excuse to cancel the series or something like that. They're like trying to save face.
Okay.
Yeah, it alleges that they were embroiled in a series of embarrassing public disputes whereby its non-Dragonlance publications were exonerated for racism and sexism, I think is what it said. However, where was it on here? I found this one. I'm just trying to figure out. Did I link the long one? They were talking about how the article I found. They were saying that it's possible that they okay, maybe it doesn't say. Maybe it wasn't in this one. I thought it did say this. But one of the articles I was saying, they said that they guessed that it's possible Wizards was doing this because of all those criticisms, because the books that were being written wouldn't pass through content readers, basically. Like the books were not
sensitivity rewrites.
Sensitivity rewrites. Yes, thank you. Is
okay. That's just a little further down?
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, that they requested sensitivity rewrites. Yes. Okay. There was some, again, more just what's the word I'm trying to think? Hypothesizing online, thinking that maybe the books, they couldn't get them past the sensitivity writers or the sensitivity readers, and especially with Wizards kind of being on edge right now, that they just straight up lanced it and they were like, done. Burned it with fire, as you do. This news story is starting to drag on. Nothing?
See, like huh?
No, never mind. Go ahead.
Oh, no, sorry. This is a serious topic. I wasn't picking up that you were laying down a joke there at the end.
Yeah.
But like Dragons of Autumn Twilight, I liked that book. Like now that I see it, and I'm technically an adult and have adult money and all that kind of stuff, I'm just gonna
buy and
buy
reread
the
it.
4 books, and like buy them on Amazon.
Yeah, it looks like Dragons of Autumn Twilight, Dragons of Winter Night, Dragons of Spring Dawning, and Dragons of Summer Flame.
Yeah.
And I guess
What's weird is the when you look on Dragons of Summer Flame, it doesn't specifically say that it's like Dragonlance Chronicles Volume 4.
Yeah.
So maybe it was just like oh hey, people liked it. We should probably write one about summer too. We skipped a whole season there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, because like Twilight, Night, Dawning. What is Flame?
Well,
what part of the day would you describe as flame?
Noon?
That could be noon.
But also dragons?
Summer noon? Yeah, that sounds kind of weird. Summer nooner? That's provocative.
But Yeah, so I know nothing about you. Obviously know a little bit more about this because you've actually read the books once in the past. I've heard of it, and I've heard of Dragonlance, but I've never played a game in it.
Oh yeah, like the books are real great. So what did I read? There's a series of books. It's a giant parody spoof kind of thing, but there's also a cool adventure built into it. It's a series of books called Caverns and Creatures, and they play a game in the books called Caverns and Creatures, developed by a company, Sorcerers on the Shore.
I don't know what you're talking about there.
So like they're 100%. It's like we represent but are legally distinct.
Yeah.
And one of the things in there, the guy makes a reference to he's wearing the red robes of neutrality. And in the Dragonlance series, you have white wizards who wear white robes and that kind of stuff. They're technically good. And then you have black wizards wear all black. They're technically bad. And then you have the red wizards who wear all red, and they are neutral.
Yeah.
So
I don't know how I feel about this, because a part of me is like, I kind of want to believe the sensitivity reader argument, because it's not like Wizards canceled all of their projects. Like, they're still making stuff.
Yeah.
So it makes me want to think that somehow they saw this as was not going to make the situation better and decided to cut their losses.
Yeah. There's a lot of things.
So more probably to come on this one.
Yeah.
Although I imagine it might be a while, because given lawsuits, I imagine people aren't going to be saying much until it's over.
Exactly. Yeah. Probably stifled by like 60-month NDAs and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so now I got a couple of Kickstarters for you. This first one was someone that actually reached out to me on Reddit, which was always weird, because I post on Reddit every now and then, but somebody reached out and was like, "Hey, you like RPGs? You should check this out." And so I told him I'd talk about it here. It's called Death Divers. It's a heroic dark setting. Philip, this is kind of up your alley a little bit. It's basically like The Expanse meets Doom, but it's totally that like hard sci-fi. Although
demons and carbines.
Yeah.
Tabletop role-playing game.
Although when I read this, when they were talking about the solar system was settled thanks to cosmic breaching, reducing the distance between 2 points by slipping in and out, and apparently that other universe that they slip in and out of is like where all the demons come from. I'm like, isn't this just the plot line of Warhammer 40K?
Oh, yeah. There you go. Hey, we found a shortcut, but we have to travel through your realm, and apparently you guys don't like that.
Yeah. And it's also, what was it, Event Horizon?
Yeah.
Was it like that too? I mean, it's a trope. It's not, I'm not saying it's a ripoff. Yeah. This is also more, this will be like Warhammer 5K. Because it's very like, it's not as widespread. We're just like I said, The Expanse. But yeah, definitely
a couple episodes of Voyager too.
Yeah. Definitely looks, I like the artwork, is really cool. So this is apparently a setting book for a game series, like a system. There we go, a game system. This is a specific setting. It's interesting. It's so there's a Heroic Dark Deluxe rulebook, and then the Death Divers setting book, which I'm all for, setting books and such. You can even get a early edition kind of a free preview. There we go. Free preview edition of the Heroic Dark setting. Where was it? He categorized it a lot like Fate. It uses 5d6, where successes aren't guaranteed. 6 counts as successes, and so like most, I've seen stuff like this before, where like 6 counts as your successes. But the difference with this system is you always roll all 5d6s, but you can re-roll dice up to your attribute score.
Oh, okay.
So that's what makes the difference. Like, oh, I'm gonna roll this dice, or all these die, but I have a physical, attribute of 3, so I get to reroll 3 of the die that didn't get failures. And I'm assuming harder level tasks will require more successes. That's pretty typical for these types of games.
Yeah. I
So
do dig the artwork. That's very sweet.
yeah. So you can find out more. Like I said, links will be in the show notes. You can find out more about it. It is, let's see, I didn't say what it's. So it is it's got 18 days to go. So it'll probably be about 15. So it'll be about halfway through by the time this heads out on the podcast. And it's about halfway through its goal right now. It's got a $6,000 goal. They're at $34.69. So it is not funded yet. But you can get $20. You get the PDF of both books. And you get, oh wow. Okay. I was they pulled that move before. I've seen this before where I was like $30 or more printed backer, and I saw it was the both books printed, and I was like, wait, what? And no, it's $30. You get a coupon for Drive-Thru RPG to get their print what's it called?
What? Print on demand?
Print on demand. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Print on demand features. So they're estimating it to be about $25, but I've never, I've seen that stuff, but I've never done a print on demand from Drive-Thru RPG. Mm-hmm. So I have no idea what the quality is there. Oh, and you can get it signed. So $80, you can get it signed, which means somebody else is going to print it out.
Yeah.
It's probably they get it sent to them, because I imagine
they're going to get it printed from Drive-Thru RPG.
Probably. That's what I would assume, because it's only 50 books. I would not assume they're going to do a print run of 50 books somewhere else. I would assume that's probably Drive-Thru RPG as well. But $20 to get a PDF, that's pretty typical. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this looks cool. 89 backers so far. So if you like the idea of Expanse meets Doom, which I think is just Doom, isn't Doom already kind of an Expanse kind of world?
But you spend less time in space.
That's true. Okay, that's true. If you need more hard in your sci-fi, then give Death Divers a try. You can't beat that subtitle, a Demons and Carbines tabletop RPG inspired by the expansive Doom.
Yeah, it is pretty good. I did enjoy that.
So, one last Kickstarter for you. This is another one that looks really cool, and it's called Hoop Gods with a Z. So, this group got a lot of attention. It's from a company called Board Game Brothers, who I am 100% positive there is a bunch of, black board game creators. They don't always get focus or a lot of attention on them. But when all the protests and stuff went through, there was a lot of big donation threads that kind of went through, and these guys, their first game was called, or at least I believe their first game was called Rap Gods.
Yep.
And so there was a bunch of fundraisers, and they raised a whole lot of money. You bought a game, and the proceeds got donated to, I want to say, Black Lives Matter, I think, or one of the various charities that was popular around then. I want to say they sold through their entire stock.
Okay.
Because it just between people buying them and all the donations, I remember following those chains, and that they raised a whole bunch of money doing that. But when they got all that attention, they were also being like, oh, by the way, we've got this game we're working on. So ever since then, I've been seeing this as Hoop Gods. Yeah. And obviously, it's a game about basketball. It's like a head-to-head street basketball board game. And when I went through and saw this, it makes basketball almost like a minis game.
Okay. Oh yeah, I did see one of the minis concepts as I was.
So it's it uses standees, not minis. But what I mean by that is it's got the board laid out, and then you've got hexes for all the different positions on there. Hey, Hoser 40K is in the chat. Speaking of 40K, we were just mentioning that. But so it's a 2-player head-to-head game where you've got dice involved, you've got players that you have to draft, and then you're moving them around the board, and then you play cards to kind of like do specific moves. And they've got a system they refer to as juice, where it's like you want to have, that's how you use different actions, is your manage your energy with the unique juice system. So you don't want to like press too hard or you're out of juice.
Didn't you watch Space Jam?
It's been so long ago.
It was Michael Jordan's, special juice.
Oh yeah. Oh, right.
Turns out it was just
right.
water.
It was just water.
The special was inside you the whole time.
Yes.
And then the message in that movie.
And then it's got dice that you have to roll to do specific actions. So, and then it's definitely got that kind of street theme.
Oh yeah, the
art style.
Cool.
Yeah.
You need to scroll most. You need to scroll most of the way down and put the little like superlatives. Yeah, sure, superlatives they gave themselves.
Oh, is this the about the
designers? Yeah.
Oh, they got. Hold on, they got actual minifigure. Oh, okay, that's just like us.
That's stretch goals.
That's stretch goals they were talking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Lead designer likes to roll dice a lot. Can't
yeah.
dribble with his left, sleeps in basketball shorts. So that was Omari Akil. And then Hamu Dennis, lead artist, too much fun on game night, loses to 6-year-old often, was actually good at sports. Okay there. Just brag about it too much. I'm gonna go, play games I'm gonna go play sports games on my PlayStation, because that's the only way I was good at them. So, and I totally feel the loses to 6-year-old often, because I used to have a 6-year-old and she did beat me in games a whole lot. So if you don't have enough space in your collection, you could jam to this. Ha ha! The podcaster won't catch the delay in there, because I like to take it out.
You edit the delay, yeah.
But I didn't.
The live viewer.
I didn't on the last. I didn't on the last one, only because I kept bringing it up.
As Philip goes and searches for I'm like, where's the button?
You just gotta have those hotkeys, like.
Well, like they have the hotkeys next to them. I just gotta know what they are.
Oh. All right, so there you go. That was all your news. That was a good sample. Check the show notes. We got more info in there. So, Philip, we were talking about Deep Rock Galactic.
Yes.
You got a nice new update.
Yep, we got
that just came out. I don't even know if you've had time to play that update.
I have not. However, because I have Discord open, it shows that our two friends are playing Deep Rock Galactic right now.
Oh. So as soon as we're done,
I'm logging right in.
So what's this new update supposed to bring?
So it's brought 2 new mining mission modes. On one of them, you are 2 new ones. On one of them, you are you're mining a liquid version of this one mineral that you normally just had to like mine out of the wall, and so you have a central collection unit, and then you have to go find the basically the springs.
Mm-hmm.
We can call them. You have to find the springs of them, and you call down an extractor on top of it, and then you have to build the piping from the main collection unit all the way to the extractor. And then one of the cool things about the pipes is you can grind down them, so you can get across the map real fast.
Nice. Suddenly I'm having Tony Hawk flashbacks.
Yep. It also brought in some cosmetic features, probably some game. Oh yeah, there are some game quality of life updates. So there are things in order to keep it kind of fun for you, or like they're goal oriented. there's an assignment board. And it used to be that the 2 weekly assignments were always at the top, and then you had to scroll down to kind of find what you needed. Well, now they separated the assignment board into the 2 weekly ones are on the right-hand side of the board, and then the stuff that always changes is on the left-hand side, and that scrolls up and down on you. So it does make finding things a little easier to figure out what you want to do next.
Nice.
Yeah, we played some of the beta. We think we're hoping that there's a mission in there where you have to repair the thing called the mule is where you go and you so when you're mining, you can only hold X amount of mineral,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have to deposit it in the mule before you can go get more. Well, one of the missions is a salvage mission. You have to go repair mules that a previous team died and broke and left behind. And when you listen to the guy talk about your objectives, he's like, a previous team lost their mini mules, their drop pod, and their lives. Like, he's more mad about the things, the equipment they left on the planet, than
Right.
them being dead.
Of course.
Which, I mean, it's a corporate environment, you know. They're trying to, yeah. So you go repair them. You need to find 3 legs to put on the thing to repair it. But there's always 1 extra leg per mule on the map.
Mm-hmm.
Well, when we played a mining mission, when we played a salvage mission, they were like, yeah, we're taking away the extra leg because the procedural generation, we've got it keyed in beautifully. You'll always find that 3rd leg. Yeah, we didn't find it. It really sucked because we were like, all right, where did it procedurally generate? Because it doesn't. The only time it would show up on the map is if you had already mined it out and it was now just laying like if you mined it out and you could pick it up and drop it and everything, then it would show up as a marker on your mini map.
Nice.
But until you actually did that, you had no idea where the damn thing was. Oh, I remember what the other mission was. It's an escort mission. So you're
Oh, everybody loves the escort missions.
Oh,
I'm thinking of World of Warcraft.
Yeah, these are actually 100% amazing because you're escorting a drilling rig that goes down to I honestly forget the name of the thing. It's got heart in its name, like the heart of
the cards.
We're gonna call it the heart of the mountain. Okay, that's what we're gonna call it.
Heart of the cards.
Yeah, we're gonna call it the heart of the mountain. And you go and you have to protect this thing to get to the heart of the mountain. And then while it drills, you have to protect it from getting to the Rusted Beetle. We are talking about Deep Rock Galactic. It's a great game that I completely enjoy. Oh, hey, see, now that went. Okay, see, when you typed in restream,
yeah,
that sent it everywhere.
Yeah. When because I'm in the chat, it sends it everywhere. It even sends me a little check mark that's like, yep, it went to all 3 places.
Yeah. And then you have to like fight off and like while it's being attacked and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, those are the 2 new missions. And then random cosmetic items. I don't think yeah. Luckily, all the stuff you can buy extra for the game is just cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no like, I
pay to win
credit card. I'm gonna roll around in an M1 Abrams tank all the time. Like, that's not how that's gonna work, buddy.
Oh, you can't do the what were the cheats for like Age of Empires where you could get like the the Camaro and like the baby that shot like nukes or whatever? Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Was that in Age of Empires?
Yeah, well, there was like the code that was like pizza party, gave you like a bunch of unlimited food or whatever. And there was like a little Camaro that could drive around. And then I want to say there was like a baby in a stroller that shot like missiles.
First off, that's amazing. I would like to include that in
every game.
Every game ever now.
Okay, yeah, the complete no, that's Age of Empires 1. Or 2. I wanted 1. Yeah, so these were the cheats for Age of Empires. If you typed Woodstock, you got 1,000 wood. Okay, yes, I have an ad blocker on.
You have an ad blocker on,
I
Chris?
know, right? Like you
Why
could
would you do
do
that?
Woodstock, Pepperoni, Coinage, and Quarry, like reveal map, no fog. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
kill, and a number would kill the player number. Die kills all opponents. Home run, win campaign. Resign, lose campaign. Big Daddy gave you a rocket launcher car, Wazent's Z car. Big Mama was like a wife Z car. It was like a white car versus a black car.
Okay.
Harry Carey was commit suicide. Gaia control animals.
Oh.
Hoyo Hoyo makes priest move faster. Oh God, now I'm looking at. I don't think I knew all of these. Jack be nimble. Catapults now fire peasants. Photon Man spawned a laser trooper. E equals MC2 trooper spawned a nuke trooper. I want to say there was, maybe I was mixing some together because there's like a baby prez that was like if you just type POW. And then like yeah, all sorts of things. All birds become dragons if you type King Arthur. So yeah, there was
nice.
there was a lot of that was like the thing is you just played Age of Empires and just like pepperoni pizza.
Age of Empires, was that real time or turn based?
That was real time. Civ is the one that's turn based.
That's right. Civ is turn based. Yeah. Yeah, I had to who did it? Oh, GOG Games or GOG.
Yeah.
Good old games.
Good old games.
They had a bunch of BattleTech stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, yes, give me all of it. Give me all of it. Give me all of it. But like as soon as I bought it, I installed it. I started playing, and I was like, oh, this is turn based.
That was the Mech Commander, I believe. Like Mech Warrior was the like live action one.
Oh yeah, Mech Warrior. That was like the first person shooter.
That was the first person shooter, and I think Mech Commander was the turn based one, the RTS type thing.
Yeah, well, whatever one I bought, I was like, yeah.
Hey, did you see that the I think the newest BattleTech game that they did is on Xbox All Access, I think, or their Xbox Game Pass?
I have not seen that.
I think it's on the PC one.
Oh, cool.
So, because I think I marked it to potentially download and play later.
And then I started. So as soon as I saw that, I started remembering and paying attention to some of that kind of stuff because there's a big. It's Battlestar Galactica Deadlocked, and I was like, oh yeah, Battlestar Galactica, I love. And then I looked and it was like, yeah, innovative turn-based combat. Like, oh, I don't want to.
No.
Like I want to give you my money, but I want to play in real time.
Yeah. Not a fan of the asynchronous?
Not a fan. No, man. I like because
you can play against computers and they probably play fast enough.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there was like I did dig the it was just the spawning stuff and like I just want to be like hit a button and we like churn out 50 Vipers, like
right,
send them all off to fight.
They got Rusty Beetle in the chat. He also downloaded the BattleTech game. Yet to install it. He needs to place the radiator for his CPU water block.
Yes, the radiator is very important.
This is why I don't have water in my computer. Like I know it's all like the best thing ever, but I'm too scared.
Just get an all-in-one.
Oh, I know. I have other upgrades that need to happen first.
Yeah.
Like the whole inside of the computer.
Like I need to. I'm like I've told you this. I probably talked about it on here. I'm gonna talk about it again. My GPU. If I'm like after a hard gaming session, I'll put my hand behind the exhaust fan just to be like, because I have a 360 millimeter radiator, for my CPU, and like, that's kind of blowing out cold air. And I'll put my hand behind the exhaust for the GPU. It only has, it's either a 120 or a 140. That thing's hot. Like, I put my hand back there and I tried to hold it there for a second. I was like, nope, can't do it. That's really hot, man. So I need a bigger cooler for that. Which is why I got that case that you helped me buy.
The one that we went up the road to like
That's
the
right.
Walmart deal in the parking lot.
I was like, "Hey, Chris, come ride with me so I don't get murdered."
If you want to come and take a ride with me, we're going up to town and getting a computer case at Walmart. So I've gotten Kickstarters in.
Yeah.
So not a whole lot physically, other than I did get one thing, but I got early access to. This is probably the soonest turnaround I've ever gotten something. Back in June, I backed that Roll Kickstarter that came out. It's like a new platform for playing RPGs. So think like Roll20, but this is ROLE, like role playing.
Rolle.
Yes. Well, the difference here is this one is simpler, and it's like the first one that really focuses more on the video side than like the let's make a tabletop side. So think about like if you wanted to buy like, or if you wanted to merge like Zoom and like Roll20 together, this would be like what you're talking about, except for it's got like, at least in the all the descriptions and all the samples I've seen. I haven't tried it myself yet. You got like your standard Zoom kind of call interface, and then there's like a panel you pull out that has like dice that you can customize depending on what game, and there's like sections you can add in that has your character sheet. It's supposed to be a lot simpler interface, because like Roll20 and some of the other ones like Fantasy Grounds, they can get kind of complicated, especially if you want to dig in and do like all this stuff. So, it's not really user-friendly to people that have not played a whole lot of RPGs online. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just got the early access to that, but we haven't really been playing RPGs to really talk about it or to really like mess around with it. But I did get. Oh, let me grab it over here. I got this bad boy in. So this is a Vorpal board.
Yeah.
And this is a Kickstarter edition. It's got a little special engraving on the back. So this is basically a light scanning box, or a light box scanner tool thing. It's very it's simple, but it's not like cheap. I will say that. Like it's not. I have to hold it a specific way because it may fall apart. But I think that's more of it was designed that you could take it apart to take it someplace. Like I could probably glue these panels together, but I don't know if I want to do that. But it's got leather. It's got some leather bindings and some engravings, and there's a.
The moment you glue that down,
I'm gonna need to take it somewhere. Yeah, exactly. Yep. And there's like there's a little hockey puck light in the back. So the way this works is they have a software that you load up. It's like vorpalboard.com, and you start a game and you use the app to scan in cards, and it's got a little lip up here on top that you could put the card and put it down and scan it, and then it appears on the Vorpal Board site, which is great because it's in a browser, so you don't have to download special software like Tabletop Simulator or stuff like that. I just send somebody a link, and it already has like the room code and stuff in it, and they just jump right in. And so you can either play all digital, where I like scan in all the components and then you can move stuff, or I can have the camera, and I can connect like another phone for like a camera. They say they're going to bring support for webcams, but apparently they have like lower resolution, so we'll see about that. But right now you can use like two separate smart devices. You can use one, but I found it's kind of complicated to move it back and forth.
On what you're using as a webcam.
Huh?
Depends on what you're using as a webcam.
Well, meaning most webcams max out at 1080p, and I think technically your phone does much higher than that.
Yeah. I don't know. I've seen some 4K, man.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into that.
So so then if I do it that way, if I have the camera up top, I can move like physical pieces around and then just scan in like your hand of cards for, when I was talking to you about it, like Gloomhaven, your ability skill cards and your ability modifiers, I could scan in that deck and you just flip those pieces over and play with those bits, and then I move the actual figures around the board. So it introduces it's kind of a mesh of, it's taking a bunch of different ways of playing games online and kind of meshing them together. Like there's the way of, hey, I'm going to play the game here and just have the webcam streaming down. Or there's the, hey, we're going to play all digital. This kind of lets you mix and match what you want to do. And technically you could play it for D&D and stuff too. It supports all that. And it's got built-in, I didn't tell you this, it's also got built-in comms as well. So like video and voice chat.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's also nice, not having to have a separate program up and running for that. And that does use your webcam on your computer.
Right.
But it also means that like you can use a tablet instead of like your computer. So if like you don't have a personal laptop, like I know some people, they have work laptops, but they don't have like personal laptops. They have tablets or phones or just whatever. Mm-hmm. And so you could use it on that and play through there. And so that's really cool. I haven't gotten to use it a whole lot. I've only played one game online with it. So I will report more on like how it works, because I need more experience with it, because it was kind of iffy the first week of the weekend it came out.
Okay.
But yeah, that came in, and that was really cool, because like that was one of those that it came out in like January. I'm like, this sounds like a cool idea. I'll back for $1. And then like June rolled around and I saw like an update for this. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That thing's coming out this year. I have to have this. So it was like, it was like $70 for that, for the light box thing.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. I think now on their website it's like $80. And not only do you get the light box, you also get a decent sized arm, which is actually kind of like these mic arms, which is why I didn't back it fully in the first one. I'm like, I have like those kind of arms. Mm-hmm. But this one is a little bit sturdier, and it reaches longer. So it reaches actually the center of the table, and I can kind of move the camera around, because this is kind of very single directional. Whereas that one, it's got a mount that mounts on the arm that I can then rotate whichever direction to kind of get a better orientation. Mm-hmm. So, all in all, pretty cool. All right. What do you want to talk about first? Do you want to talk about FunkoVerse, or do you want to talk about Cthulhu?
Well, hang on, because I have one more thing.
Uh-oh.
I have one more thing. I just don't know where. Okay, so where would I find where the pre-order stops? Like, when is that? So, Power Rangers, Heroes of the Grid.
Oh, yes, that's right.
Yes. Their new pre-order campaign.
Now, this is basically like the first year when they did the Bulk and Skull pack. This is basically kind of like that, right? Where it's not like a full big box expansion that they're kickstartering. It's like a side.
This is not a big box expansion. This is three character packs basically. It's got the Villain Pack number 3, Legacy of Evil. It's got the Legendary Rangers Forever Rangers pack, which so it's got
this is like the 2nd gen Mighty Morphin, right?
Yeah, so it's got red, pink, black, and yellow. So that was Aisha, Kat, Rocky, and Adam. Yeah. And it's got Squat and Babu as a character pack. It says character pack. Yeah, they're going to be bad guys. All right. I mean, they're Squat and Babu. They're bad guys. And then it also has the deluxe Megazord figure that they had in the first Kickstarter.
Yeah, they got the painted one. I saw the picture of that. That thing looks awesome.
That looks amazing. Yes. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out where on this page it says that this pre-order stops. Oh, hey, right there, October 27, pre-order closes. The timeline was way at the bottom.
So you got a week from today.
When is this? Yeah, you have 5 days.
Wait, what did you say? The 27th?
27th is
Oh,
when
the
pre-order
27th.
closes.
Okay.
27th.
So this
if
will
you're
only be
listening
like
live,
I think that this will do. I think that's the day this comes out.
that's the day this comes out. Okay, so you need to listen to
Assuming
this
I get
early in
enough
the
time to
morning.
edit between now and then.
Okay, so if you listen to this thing early in the morning on your way to work, and then get to work and log in and do the pre-order.
You're assuming everyone out there is as big a Power Rangers fan as you are.
Well, if they're not, they're wrong.
By the way, did you see that Hasbro broke ties with was it Toei? TOEI?
Toei International?
Yeah, the company that makes the Super Sentai.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's leaks going around that they dissolved the relationship between them to get like the Super Sentai footage that they then use for Power Rangers.
Mhm.
So very weird on that one.
They'll have to produce everything in-house.
I think that's more of what they want to do.
I mean, hey.
I mean, can't be as bad as some of the movies, right?
No.
Although I actually kind of liked the new movie that came out.
What?
I liked it.
Rusted Beetle?
Yeah, you got to remember he's like 10 years older than us.
Okay.
I didn't like the Zords in the new movie, but I thought the
Yeah, the
actual
Zords were weird.
movie was fine.
Oh yeah, the action was cool.
Yeah.
I dug
Like
it.
I like the suits and all that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You got to it's basically Voltron for him. That's where
Okay.
I mean, it's like the same thing.
He's an 80s kid. We were born in the 80s. We're 90s kids.
Yeah. Speaking of different, actually, let's talk FunkoVerse because that's a perfect segue.
All right.
Talking about different pop culture properties. That's what I want to talk about.
Phenomenon.
Yeah, and properties was the word I was looking for. So they've been going nuts. So there's a little bit of a lull when the FunkoVerse game first came out, and then starting about when the pandemic hit, they started releasing a whole bunch of new stuff. Like they got the Jurassic Park box here that is like the starter box. This has got technically most of the boxes you can play standalone, but this is the like 2 to 4 player box that comes with 4 figures.
Gotcha.
So this one here has the Dr. Alan Grant, Dr. Ellie Sattler, Ray Arnold, and just a raptor. So it has just like a raptor on here. And then I want to say they have a smaller box that's like this size that has, I want to say, Dr. Ian Malcolm and a T-Rex, I think. I did not get that. But we have also got stuff like I had to get the Back to the Future with Morty and Doc. So, we could play.
Marty.
Morty.
Marty.
It's Morty.
Yeah, Morty. Morty.
Because I have Rick and Morty, and now I can play Rick and Morty versus Doc and Marty.
Yes. No, we got to play Marty and Morty versus Rick and Doc.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
That's great.
Then they did produce a couple of like standalone single characters. So these are like the only ones you couldn't play, but you couldn't play as a standalone. You had to combine it with another set. So they had Agretsuko, which is this like cat anime looking thing, which is apparently an anime on Netflix, I think. And then there was the Kool-Aid Man. That was the one I had to like. They sent me that one, and I ended up giving it away because I had already bought it. Because that was like as soon as it was announced and was available in Target, I immediately found the nearest Target that had it. Like I had to drive up to Annapolis because like I'm getting this. Well, I don't know if I drove to Annapolis. I think we were in Annapolis when I read that, and I'm like, "Where's the Target? I have to go get this now."
Google, take me to Target.
Yeah, it was one of those like it was even in like a special section. I had to like look around for it. And then they also have like there's the Jaws. They have a Jaws pack that has Quint and the shark. Fun fact: I don't think I've ever seen Jaws. Now that I'm thinking about it, other than just a couple of scenes. Mm-hmm. But we had like all these stockpiles of different figures and hadn't had a chance to play. So we finally got down and just did like a big, massive battle between like so many of these. So I was playing. I had Ray Arnold. I had the Raptor, and I had Marty. I'm gonna keep mixing that up.
Yeah.
And Marty, and then you had a Gretsuko. You had the Shark, and you had Dr. Alan Grant, if I'm right.
Dr. Grant. Yep.
And we were playing at like one of the Raptor cages. I think
we were in the Raptor pen. Yep.
Yeah.
The Raptor paddock.
Yeah, the Raptor paddock. So I ended up winning because I love Marty's ability. He can just jump to different,
Yeah,
different.
that was...
Entirely possible I was playing that wrong. I will go ahead and say that. Rusted Beetle brings up Unmatched. I still have not played Unmatched.
Now I want to read the card and just be like, watch it be like the closest one you can see.
Probably.
Be like, there's a wall there, Chris. You can jump in.
Yeah, Rusty Beetle brings up Unmatched, which anytime you bring up one, somebody usually brings up the other. I would try Unmatched, except for A, it's more card based and I like dice rolling, and B, until they recently got with like the Jurassic Park and Buffy the Vampire Slayer, I didn't care for any of the properties because they were like public domain stuff like Sinbad and like not the the story of the sailor Sinbad. Why am I hearing crickets now?
I had nothing to contribute.
Okay, well, like in other words, just like public domain stuff that I just didn't care for. Although there was like a Bruce Lee figure that was kind of cool.
Oh,
But anyways, not talking about Unmatched. Talking about FunkoVerse here. These are all great. They hold up. It keeps that FunkoVerse feel of, hey, look, I'm gonna bet. It reminds me of when you used to play with like action figures as a kid.
Okay.
And it's like I've got Batman and Optimus Prime, and and you come up with some weird story for how they're all in the same battlefield.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of, but it makes it in a minis kind of thing. Yes, 90s comedians are in public domain now. Didn't you know they changed the rules? So, and everything's very thematic. Like one of Ray Arnold, who that's Samuel L. Jackson's character. One of his abilities is hold on to your butts, and there's like a little card you give your allies called holding on. Like the Kool-Aid Man, I haven't played yet, but he's got the like, oh yeah, is one of his abilities, and he busts through walls. That's his ability.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like I mean, of course, but it's just like the idea of you think on the map where you got all those walls, and it's just like, poof, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like, come on, how can you not get that?
I was just thinking, like they're gonna do. Have you seen do you have the Ian Malcolm and T-Rex?
I do not. That's the one I don't have.
Okay. I was like, they're gonna pose him standing up though. Like
you want the alternate laying down?
Yeah, he needs to be.
Wait,
posed
but that wasn't Jurassic Park, I thought, right?
What?
That wasn't Jurassic Park, was it? I thought that was The Fly.
Was that The Fly?
Yeah, when he did like the all sexy pose, I want to say that was The Fly.
This is gonna be in my search history now. Sexy Jeff Goldblum. Yeah. Where did that come from? Jeff Goldblum. No, Jeff Goldblum recreates sexy Jurassic Park pose.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. Yeah, that was...
All right, well, now I have to see...
Now you just got to watch Jurassic Park again.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, yeah, because you can tell in the picture he's on one of the... One of the Jeeps? It looks like.
Really? Are you talking about the FunkoVerse, or are you talking about the?
No, I'm talking about the actual indie movie. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, he's just being sexy.
Yeah, it's not the FunkoVerse one.
No, it's just gonna be him standing.
Yeah, it's just him standing up. Oh, but that is that a T-Rex? It looks like another raptor. It is a T-Rex. Okay, their T-Rex looks like another raptor.
It'll probably just have like a bigger head. Cause it got a big head and little arms. Name of that movie.
Dr. Ian Malcolm's abilities are must go faster, life finds a way, and I can't read what the first one is. Incessant snark. Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he has a okay. Yeah. So, we had the Jurassic Park one had the amber victory points with the mosquitoes in them.
Yeah,
I loved that.
It was cool that some of them didn't have the mosquitoes on them.
Yeah. Very thematic. Yeah, this is just like you want to get your kid playing minis games. Like this is what you do. And as far as like what should you get, what do you like? It's like
exactly. Yeah.
I don't think like I would not have bought Jaws other than to have the shark. Like I don't think I'll ever play the Quint character just because I don't have any attachment to Jaws. But the shark, I could probably play the shark. I mean, the Jurassic Park ones, if you like Jurassic Park, you buy that. I don't know anyone everyone should go right now and buy the Kool-Aid Man because, oh yeah.
Right.
And then
is there a big Funko Pop of Kool-Aid Man?
There is for like the normal Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Like, you know how they have like the large ones? There is a giant Kool-Aid Man one.
Oh, that's right.
Like the Thanos sized ones?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. They have that. Oh, Rusted Beetle, why do you hate Funko Pops so much? Like, I know that everybody hates it because they look all the same, but I just still think I find them quirky. I have a bunch.
Maybe it's the prevalence.
Maybe,
of
probably
like they take over.
That's entirely possible, but that sounds like somebody else's problem. That's not your problem. So, yeah, and then there's the Harry Potter one. I've been trying to avoid Harry Potter because the author's a jerk now, or has always been. So, yeah, the Funko Pops, the most recent expansions, they deliver. If you like FunkoVerse, or if you weren't a fan of like Harry Potter, or the first batch that came out, the Harry Potter DC, and you were more curious, you should pick these up. They definitely keep that same game feel. Oh, he says they think they look dumb. Well, yeah, that's kind of the point.
It's like the whole point.
You want to talk about something that doesn't look dumb though?
This segue to our sponsor.
No, I was talking about Cthulhu.
Okay.
So I have here one of CMON's latest. I think no, this isn't the latest because they've done a few Kickstarters since then. One of their latest big box minis games that came out into last year is Cthulhu Death May Die from CMON, Rob Davio and Eric Lang. This is one of the few CMON games that like I had been wanting to try that I missed the Kickstarter on, mainly because I thought it was dumb. They did the Kickstarter like right before Gen Con. And it was like, I'm not going to do that. I got to save that money for Gen Con back in, I think 2018, I think was when they did it. So, this is basically a Cthulhu co-op minis game from CMON. It would be like the easiest way to put it.
Yep.
It's pretty, pretty much exactly what you're getting in the box here. So crap ton of minis, and this is just, so I have just the retail version. I don't have what all the extra stuff with, which is actually surprising because normally they'll do like tokens instead of plastic figures. Like the Kickstarter, you get plastic, like all the, you thinking on the player boards. So let me get to actually one of those player boards out. Talk about the game. The basic premise of the game is you're a bunch of investigators. There's Cthulhu stuff happening, and you decide, well, we're going to let them complete the ritual, but we're going to mess it up a little bit, and that way that the old ones come in mortal, and you can shoot them in the face. Because that was like, I heard the Eric Lang presentation where he talked about this back at that CMON Expo we went to.
Yeah,
and he was like, I just wanted a game where you just shot Cthulhu in the face. So
man, I wish I could have shot. Oh no, I wouldn't. That's fine.
So
I probably could have shot Cthulhu in the face.
Yeah. In this game, I would put him. This is like a scenario driven game, so it's not a story interlaced. Like there is story to each one, but it's kind of like a background. I like the way it works in that you have, like in the base box, it comes with two elder gods and then 6 episodes. So you pick what episode you want to play, like what scenario, which is weird. When they call them episodes, you think they're related, but they're really kind of not. They're kind of loosely related, but that's about it. And then you pick which elder god, and the system's designed that it can work with each elder god. So you could play the same mission, but sub out Cthulhu for Hastur, and it's a little different now. So it's almost like 12 scenarios in this box.
Yeah.
And then every person has an investigator. A lot of them are based off of real or fictional people. Like Philip was playing Rasputin, and I was playing what was her name?
Borden.
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 Her name was just Borden, but it was a girl, and she had an axe. So it was like Lizzie Borden had an axe, gave her husband 30 whacks or something like that. So yeah, like I was good at axes and stuff. I thought that was funny. I will say I do have to put a content warning because whereas a lot of Cthulhu style games take mental health and that stuff, don't take it seriously and make it kind of like a joke. A lot of them do that. I feel like this one does it even more so than like say like an Arkham Horror.
Oh yeah.
Because like you almost like in the other games you don't really want to go insane because it's like your health. This one you kind of do want to go insane.
That's how you level up.
That's how you level up. And not to mention everybody gets these insanity cards that trigger, and they're based off of like real, traumas. So the game's not going to be for everybody, but and that was another reason I didn't back it, because I wasn't sure how they were going to make those work based on the way they were talking about them. Like, I don't know if we want to do this. It's not as bad as I thought, because I thought it was going to be like a complete game triggering, but it's more of like things that only trigger every so often, and I don't want to use the word trigger because it's just they activate basically the abilities.
Yeah.
But what I was talking about with the components in the retail version is you had these player boards that track like your abilities and your overall sanity and your health and your stress. And on normal CMON Kickstarters, like the retail version would have like tokens that you would put on here, and then the Kickstarter version would have like deluxe plastic versions that they would have. And so this one, the retail came with those kind of plastic little token things that you can move all over the board. So I thought that was cool. Of all the CMON games I've ever played, I thought the organization in this box was like 10 times better than what I've seen before. Like I was able to like put
everything away.
I was able to put everything back in. Granted, I didn't have all the bonus stuff. Normally I have all the bonus stuff, so that was that's usually a downfall, so we'll say that. And there's a lot of stuff that comes in this base box. Like I said, you basically get 12 scenarios that you could just kind of keep replaying. Oh yeah, that was it. It gave her mother 40 whacks when she saw what she had done. Gave her father 41. Yeah, I remember it was something like that. I just thought it was husband. So, yeah, there you go. I like this game. We've played it a couple times. I'm no stranger to Cthulhu Mythos stuff.
Yep.
But where would I'll talk about ranking wise before, but as far as like, this has got everything you ever wanted in a CMON game. It's got like the super detailed minis for all the different. It's got all the super detailed minis for the different old ones and the figures and stuff. It makes me want to paint them because they're that detailed. I mean, this is the same game that had that huge like 2-foot Cthulhu statue as an expansion.
Nice.
Yeah. Did you never see that?
I don't think I ever saw the Kickstarter.
Yeah, it was like an extra $150. No, I did not get the figure because, like I said, I just got the retail version here.
And that's why we need you to support our patrons so we can afford these giant Kickstarters.
Yeah, but the figure. So I'm gonna send you a picture of this figure. Does the lid close with an insert in it? It's got boxes that organize stuff pretty well, and it closes with no. Okay, here we go. I'm sending you. Oh wait, maybe I can just copy the image and put it in our Discord. Yep, I see it now. Yeah, because I thought it sounded weird. I thought it sounded weird because something I found like something dropped. So for a second, I thought I dropped you, but it was the. There's an extra buzz that appears whenever I connect the computer to the streaming computer, or the audio to the streaming computer, and that buzz dropped out, and that was what I was hearing.
Gotcha.
But it happened right when I posted that thing into Discord, so that was weird.
Okay. We need from episode 1. Power's back.
Power's back. So do you hear that? There's I think Chloe's making a milkshake upstairs, and so I just keep hearing
Wow. What a milkshake.
or a smoothie or something.
Yeah.
So
why are there all these boys in my yard?
What did you think of this game?
I enjoyed it a lot. We did start to get kind of overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely want to make sure I have a character with brawling again.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to look at all the character boards to see like who has brawling. Because that was just amazing. So like when you level brawling all the way up, you can deal all damage
to everybody.
All
you're just
things.
You're just fists of furying everywhere.
Yeah, that was great because we were like, oh hey, I'm gonna walk into this room and there's 8 minis on the board. One of them's the boss. Everyone else just has 2 health. Oh look, I rolled 6 damage. All the little ones are dead.
Yeah, and there's a season 2 box you can buy that has even more scenarios, and you can buy actually other elder ones. Like there was that old Goat of the Woods, Lost Goat of the Woods, or something like that.
Yeah.
And every one of those you buy expands it even more because you're playing the same scenario but with a different elder god, so it changes some of the monsters on the board. So, I don't know if I would make this like this isn't going to top like Arkham Horror the card game. You know, I don't even know if this would top. As far as how much I like the game, I don't even know if this would top Mansions of Madness. I think I like that game more. However, I do like this game more than Zombicide. Mainly probably more because of the Cthulhu theme. And it was a little bit simpler. Cthulhu had a lot of... not Cthulhu. Zombicide had a lot of extra leveling up. Like there was tokens there were tokens you were moving like up and down, but it felt like it was a little bit more involved, more like RPG-ish in some ways. Like it was kind of neat and all, but this was like a little bit simpler in that there's just like, oh, you just choose one of these abilities kind of thing.
Yep.
So I would play this. I think like where does this fall for me? This would be like the game that me and you would play, like if we're just having a game day and we don't feel like playing Arcadia Quest. Like if we're not going to play a competitive game, this would be the cooperative game that like I'd want to play.
Yep, I see that.
You know, so like it would be like, hey, I just want to throw a cooperative on the table. I want to throw some minis down. I want to roll some dice. I like the FFG Arkham games. They include story a lot better, but I'm probably like, this would probably get played more than Mansions of Madness just because Mansions of Madness is a little bit more involved.
Mm-hmm.
And this was somewhat simple in that it's a smaller board per se, at least in the couple of scenarios that we played. And because I don't own everything for it, it seems less intimidating. I don't know if that would change.
Right.
So, Rusted Beetle, what's my favorite CMON game then? I think I have to go with Arcadia Quest. I think Arcadia Quest is my favorite. Blood Rage is up there.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have to look on my list, but I'm pretty sure it would be between Blood Rage and Arcadia Quest. And then Bloodborne's up there too, but I know Bloodborne's at least behind Arcadia Quest. So, Death May Die, that's 2 thumbs ups for me. This is like if you made a list of things that Chris likes in games, this checks every box. So, this is not going to be for everyone, but you know, if you like dice, if you like minis, if you like those type of dungeon crawls, but also like Arkham stuff and Cthulhu and, you know, that sort of mythos, you're going to probably enjoy this. Chances are you probably already have this, but if it's been sitting on your shelf, you definitely should break it off. You should do yourself a favor and dust this off and give it a try. Anything I didn't say, Phil?
Nope. I agree.
Oh, I didn't really talk about how you win.
You don't die.
You don't die. That's basically it. You just don't. That is the one weird thing is like you have to beat the Elder God like 3 or 4 times.
Oh yeah, that's kind of annoying.
But it also makes
he's mortal, but he gets 4 lives.
Yeah, it makes sense though because like it kind of brings into like I'm being overpowered here. Let me go somewhere else.
This isn't even my final form.
That is kind of what it reminds me of. I have not played Hellboy, the board game. Hellboy is another one of those properties I haven't gotten into. I probably would enjoy it. I've just not gotten into it. I've never seen the movies. So someone strike me down because it's a comic book movie I haven't seen. Rusted Beetle was asking if I'd played Hellboy, the board game. I know I keep hearing they're good. I just it's one of those just like all the stuff in the universe. There's so much I haven't seen.
There are 24 usable hours in a day, Chris.
There's 104 days of summer vacation.
I mean, yeah. There's not going to be any snow days anymore. I assume. I still love when all this stuff first happened and like everything was shutting down. The app that the Chinese school system put out to like have the kids do their homework and classwork and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, where they got they got hacked and then like everybody given good grades or something like that.
They didn't get hacked.
I thought it was hacked by the children.
No. Well, yes and no. The kids found out that if you go to the App Store and if it gets enough 1-star ratings, it gets pulled from the App Store.
That's right. I remember that. They gamed the system.
They did. They just got every kid in the country to give this app a 1-star rating.
Yeah, Rusted Beetle's yelling at me in the chat room now because I haven't seen the movies. So maybe I'll make that a priority this weekend. I got to look and see where I can do it or where I can watch them. In the meantime, though, you can go to patreon.com/boards and swords. I did some revamping of the Patreon, removing some of the old goals and moving around. So when I was packaging up the items for everybody, for the dice that I gave all of our $5 patrons, which everybody should have by now. I've been hearing like the couple of international people I did ship out, they've gotten there. So everybody should have their stuff by now. If whatever reason you don't, send me an email ASAP, chris@boardsandswords.com, and we'll get it figured out. But when I was packaging the things up, I reached into kind of like my goodie box that's over here of like promos and just random stuff that I've had. And I just started stuffing the the folders full of the envelopes full of that stuff, because like this stuff's been sitting around forever. And like just like anytime I get like a promo of stuff of a game, it's like whenever you get like the stack of promos of various games and you only need like one game out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And like everything else is for games you don't have or don't care about. I would just chuck them all in the box for like, this is my giveaway box. And so I would just take that stuff, and I had like pens and lanyards and all sorts of stuff, boards and swords, pins, and just would shove them full. But I was like, I really like doing this. So I put a new goal on there. If we get to $100 a month, I want to start doing basically my version of loot box.
Okay.
It won't be monthly because that's just not sustainable. But at the $100 level, it's twice a year, and I will send you a box of goodies if you're at the $5 or $10 level. And basically, I'll be spending the months finding cool dice. Like if I go to Gen Con, I'll be buying up a bunch of like bulk dice and sending them out, or finding cool dice. I'm gonna be trying to like get like big order, like, you know, doing the things where you can buy like large groups of minis and putting like minis in the thing. And the $5 people might just get like a regular mini, but I thought maybe for like the $10 people, I would actually paint a mini and send it to them.
Mm-hmm.
So you get like a little bit more of an upgrade pack kind of thing. Those sorts of things. Like I was at a store and they had some like booster packs of stuff on sale for like clearance, and or if I go another thing at Gen Con, they always have the like dead CCG booth. Have you ever seen that?
No.
So there's always like that one retailer that's like selling Magic cards and stuff, but there's usually like a whole table that's filled with like booster boxes of like games that aren't being produced anymore. Like think like the Star Trek CCG, those type of things.
Okay.
There's always like tables of that. And I'm like, oh, I could just go buy like a booster box of that and just shove booster packs of like this dead CCG just to like, oh man, I remember this kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just fun goodies of stuff like that. If we ever get to the $200 a month level, I'll do it 4 times a year. But I just loved making those like custom, or just packaging a bunch of random stuff. So the pitch was basically Root Crate, but gaming stuff that's probably not crappy. There's at least going to be usable stuff in there, like minis and dice.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the kind of things I looking to do. The Patreon also helps out some of the show stuff. Like there was a lot of people not watching us because we weren't streaming on YouTube and Twitch, or YouTube and Facebook. And there's a lot of people that are doing that. A lot of people just don't use Twitch. Go figure. A lot of people use YouTube. Go figure. And a lot of people use Facebook. So we were trying to do this the other night using Mob Crush like we had in the past, which sends it to everywhere, but the chat was acting all weird. So I decided to pay for this service called Restream that manages well. And I am blown away by like how well everything's working. Probably because I'm paying for something versus using something for free. Go figure. Right. But like I have like notifications as far as like I can see all 3 services are online. I can see how many people are watching in all 3 services. The chat is actually working and updating as it wasn't working on Mob Crush the other day. So really good stuff. And that's only because, you know, patrons were able to donate, and that was helping us to do that. So thank you all for continuing to sponsor us. If you haven't backed us, you should go back us at least for $1. You get I did make the Slack channel open, so anyone, just to kind of get more people in there. So if you want to hang out and help us with like giving news stories you want to see us talk about, that kind of thing, give Rusty Beetle somebody else to talk to in the chat besides it just being me and Roger. But then you hit me up. If you're in the Facebook group, you should see the link. Otherwise, send me a tweet and I will send you the link somehow, or email me, chris@boardsandswords.com. If you're a patron, you just get access to a special Clubhouse channel, which is where I'll send out like notifications and stuff like that if we do Google Hangouts, that sort of thing, or Hangout, that type of personal meetings. You'll get that sort of thing. Cool. Rusted Beetle just up to $5 in the Patreon.
Woo woo!
And then as soon as we stop this call here, I'm actually going to talk with Philip about when we can sit down and record.
Is the $5 tier the dad joke tier? Can you make them up on the fly right now? Do it right now.
I
right
could.
Now, go. Right now, go.
I could, but it'll be better like
if you have time to think about it.
If I have time to think about it. So, yeah, so once we hang up here, I'm actually going to talk to Philip about scheduling Tangled in the Slipstring because his schedule is wacky. But in the meantime, so again, patreon.com/boardsandSwords. Hey, I've got sort of a game show for us.
I saw it, and I have the link open.
Okay. So basically, you close the link for you.
Okay, close the link for.
So basically, I'm going to run the quiz, and we're going to see how many of these you can name. So I've got this thing. It's from a website called Sporkle.com, and I was trying to find like BuzzFeed type quizzes where it's like, what board game are you? Like, what investigator? Those types of things.
Are you trying to get like my security questions?
Yes, those.
Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah.
The answer's always Jackal.
Yes. One real note: the Patreon's at $48 a month because we had somebody drop, which bumped us below the $50. However, we were at $50 for so long, and we didn't put out any episodes. So I'm gonna at least get the first batch of episodes out, so we've at least fulfilled that, and then we'll probably wait until also pandemic. People. That was the other thing is I didn't want to penalize people for putting money in more important areas.
Yes.
That means I also got to start on a dice pack for Rusted Beetle.
There you go.
So anyways, can you name the board games below as either real or fake? So I've got 20 board games here. I'm going to read them out to you, and you're going to let me know, are these real games or fake games? Some of these you've probably heard of, so that should be easy. Are you ready, Philip?
I am ready.
All right. Blood Bowl. Is it a board game? Is it board or is it bogus?
I'm gonna say it's I don't know, Alex. That's a tough one. I'm gonna go with what is board?
Okay. Dingo Bingo.
Is that Australian? I'm gonna go with board.
Wrong. That's the bogus one. Ghetto-opoly.
Am I allowed to answer that? I'm gonna go with board.
Yeah, it's real apparently. Chicken cha-cha-cha.
Chicken cha-cha-cha. I'm gonna say board on that one.
It's a board game. Thesaurus Rex.
Thesaurus Rex.
If this isn't a game, I need to make this a game.
Right. It's probably some educational. I'm gonna go with bogus.
It was bogus. The Hell Game.
The Hell Game. I mean that has to be a board game.
Yep. Kill Dr. Lucky.
Kill Dr. Lucky. Kill Dr. Lucky. I'm going to say that's bogus.
It's actually real. I knew it was real, but Primordial Soup.
Board?
It would help if I could spell board. Yep, it's real. The Really Nasty Horse Racing Game.
Oh, is that the next game?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were giving me like the byline of Primordial Soup.
No, the Really Nasty Horse Racing Game.
The Really Nasty Horse Racing Game. I'm gonna go bogus.
That's real. Cannibal Quest.
Cannibal Quest?
Yeah.
Oh, that has to be a board game. Please be a board game.
Nope, it's bogus.
Of course it's bogus. It's gonna become a board game. We're doing it.
Kooky Carpenters. Ooh. But it's Kooky with a K, Kooky with a K, and Carpenters with a K.
Which I'm going to go with it's an actual board game.
It's bogus, thank God.
Okay.
Hey, Pod, there's a goat on the roof.
That's That's a board game.
Yep, it's a board game. This next one's called Yank It. That's a game.
It's
a game you play when you're bored.
It's a game you play when you're bored. Where is it a board game? Let's go with I'm gonna have to go with that's bogus.
Okay, hang on a sec, because we ran out of time, so...
Oh, is there a timer on
There's
this?
a timer, but...
What?
So I gotta get back to it.
Oh.
What was it?
I went with bogus, but everyone's telling me it's real.
All right, so for Yank It?
Yes.
Okay, you went bogus?
I went with bogus.
It is bogus.
Aha, it is bogus. You
All
guys
right.
are sick and
Yeah, they only give you
chat.
3 minutes to go through this, so... Stump
Anyway.
the Nun.
You guys are sick in the head in the chat, and you're my kind of people. I love you. Stump the Nun. I'm gonna say that's a board game.
Okay. Nope,
It's
bogus.
probably played on it. No, I'm fairly certain that it's some like parochial school that was it was like a board game played on the blackboard.
Nice. This next one is called Jinkies, Velma's Monster Mystery.
I'm not gonna go there. I'm gonna say that's a board game.
Bogus. Crash, the Bankrupt game.
I'm gonna say that's a board game.
All right. Stilts and Kilts.
I'm gonna say that's a board game.
Bogus.
What?
Dance for Your Life.
Dance for Your Life. I think I want to say that's a board game.
It's bogus.
Damn. Come on.
Mall Madness.
Yes, that's
And then Squatter.
Squatter. I'm gonna say that's bogus.
All right, that's the last one. So on you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 wrong on one side, and I don't remember on the other side how many you got wrong. I think there was like 3 or 4 over there. So you got about 50%.
All right, yay!
There you go. If you guys have got if you can find other cool gaming quizzes that might be interesting, let me know. Also, I'm thinking we need to do there's a couple other ideas of things we could do with just 2 people, like newlywed style.
Whoa, Chris.
Hey.
Oh, like newlywed style. Okay.
Yeah, like I have a feeling we could
okay.
probably do a newlywed style game where we just ask each other the same question and then write it down beforehand and then just guess on the show.
Yeah, my answers are all gonna be Munchkin.
Maybe I'll say like what kind of Munchkin though.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll do a Munchkin related. There we go. The Newly Munchkin game.
Yes, the newly Munchkin game.
Or like I need to do like a Family Feud style game where I need to poll a bunch of people. That's something else we could do. So let me know if you find any other quizzes or any other fun things that we could do. Or if you're creating a cool party game that you think would work for 2 people over the internet, then let me know, Chris at boardsandswords.com.
Guinea pig the hell out of that for you.
Yep, sure will. So I think that's all I got, Philip. What do you got? All right, he's already rolled that footage.
That's what I got. You asked me what I got. That's what I got.
All right.
And we just want to let everyone know that this is wrapping up this week's episode. If you watched it live, we record mostly every other week. Check out boardsandswords.com/live for the schedule and the link to everywhere we're streaming. If you like this show, you got to check out boardsandswords.com to check out our other show, The Dirtbags of Holding. That's where we take the world's best RPGs and even some of the world's worst RPGs, and we play them in the best/worst/awesome way possible.
Also, you can email us comments and questions at feedback@boardsandswords.com. We're also on social media. Pay attention. This has changed. Facebook.com/Boards and Swords Pod is, as always, our official Instagram page. But I changed things up. I'm now at Boards and Swords on Twitter. I did it. It's just me. I'm at Boards and Swords on Twitter, and on Instagram, I'm at Chris Board Swords because somebody has Boards and Swords and not using it.
And you can find me on Twitter as Phil the Dirtbag.
This podcast is also a part of Punchboard Media. For other great gaming podcasts, make sure you go check out punchboardmedia.com. And thank you, everyone that's been in the chat room, for hanging out. Thank you, Hoser40K and Rusted Beetle, for following along with the game show. You guys rule. Go check out patreon.com/Boards and Swords. Not YouTube, because you've already been patrons. But everybody else, go help support the show. We'll be back in 2 weeks with another show. In the meantime, remember that every gamer has a story. And you know what I got, Philip?
Bogus?
Loving is what I got. Said, remember that.
See, the problem is the soundboard. You can't play a sound over another sound.
I think you can.
Well, no, it cancels the other sound.
Man.
I'm just going to stay remoted in and change that.
By the way, Rusted Beetle said, would you include a one-on-one video game contest like Jack in the Box? I don't know, because some of those take a little while. Like we could probably do a whole episode of just that, you know? Like maybe we'll do that as like a patron bonus thing.
Oh.
Like that might be a good idea for that. Because like Jack in the Boxes, those are like full up game show type stuff. Well, I don't know.
Jack in the Box.
Huh?
Like
You
I
ever
know what the toy?
You
in
never
the
played like
restaurant
any of
are?
the Jackbox games? They're like party games that you play online where
Is
somebody
that the one where the TV is the host and everyone's on their phones?
Yes.
Submitting stuff to the TV? Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
I used to have the original not the original, but one of the Jack in the Box games. It started with You Don't Know Jack. It's those people.
Okay, it's those guys. All right,
Yeah.
gotcha.
That they made a party pack because it was started that they started with You Don't Know Jack, and then they started making side games that are like in that same theme, but it's like this one you're trying to like Pictionary, but in some weird way. But they started packaging them up, and they called them the Jackbox Party Pack.
Okay.
And they've made like 6 of them. I think I have like 2 or 3 of them. So I'm definitely open to it. I just don't know if it would fit on the show format without it making the episode like 2-3 hours long. But I'll have a think. All right. Good night, folks. I'm going to call this quits. Thanks for hanging out with us.